Hi everybody, thank you for joining me today. My name is Kia and I'm from Cara Bookkeeping Specialists. We provide outsourced bookkeeping services to business owners and accountants. And we're continuing on with our financial analysis toolbox series, looking at the sales forecast. Why have we chosen to look at the sales forecast? Well, we just finished our cash flow forecast, and this is the next tool that you can use in the planning and development stage of your business. And it's so useful. It feeds really nicely into a growth directions matrix or a growth strategy, marketing strategy, any of the tools used in your business plan that require measuring goals and targets and sales and revenue. This sales forecast is really useful for that. And also if you are trading and you're looking at developing your business and setting goals and targets for growth, this is the tool that you're probably going to use most often for that. So let's get it done as soon as possible. What does a sales forecast actually do? It allows you to set sales volume targets. It's the measuring tool for understanding your business growth targets, and it's used to forecast different types of profits in your business. So let's look at the sales volume target in more detail. You can use financial ratios to estimate your revenue over a period of time. So if you don't have historical data to fall back on, you're going to want to use financial ratios that are common within your industry or your sector, the one that you're trading in at the moment. You can go into Google. There are so many different resources. Just type in your industry and type financial ratios. There's a lot of different websites and resource providers that will provide the data for you. Obviously, with any third-hand data that we can't verify, take it with a pinch of salt. But the information is there to help you to predict your future growth targets, your revenue, your sales volumes, etc. If you do have historical data, then use that and use the changes in the periods of time that you're looking at. So if you've been trading for 6 months, you've got 6 months worth of data. Look at the growth over time, over those 6 months, and use that to create forecasts and ratios for your future data. If you've got years worth of data, then it's really handy. Let's look at that in an actual example. Imagine that I am the owner of Netflix, and here is my historical data. I've got, for the past 4 years worth of data, we've seen an annual revenue of 11 billion, 15 billion, or 20 billion pounds in 2019. And imagine that today is the end of 2019, and I'm now forecasting ahead for 2020. The growth ratio that I've seen is 32%, 35%, and 28% year on year. So I'm going to average that out, and I'm going to say, I imagine in 2020, I'm going to get an average of 30% growth in my revenue figures. That means that I'll be looking to make about 26,202,800,000 pounds this year. But then coronavirus comes along. Immediately, I'm going to go back to my sales forecast and revise those figures. I'm probably going to increase it to about 40% because I know everybody's stuck at home. There's no cinemas available and there's nothing to watch on TV. They're all going to want Netflix, and I'm going to take whatever action I can to capitalize on that situation. And I'm going to actually change my prediction about 40% to about 29 billion in sales revenue for 2020. And that's how you can use a sales forecast to forecast your own revenue sales volume figures. How do we use it to measure our business growth? Well, you're going to be looking at between your short-term, medium, and long-term goals. So you'll look at monthly goals for the first 0 to 12 months or 6 months, depending on the timeline of your business, but 12 months tends to be average. So forecast your monthly goals for the next 12 months, then forecast your annual goals for year 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you want your sales forecast to extend for about 5 years, especially if it's part of your business plan, or if you're trading, you'll want to be looking at next following years. Then you're going to be using the sales forecast to compare your budgeted figures, your targets, with your actual figures. So as time goes on, you're going to be updating it with your real-time sales and revenue figures, so you can compare them and then be able to measure if you're achieving your targets, if you're exceeding your targets, or if you're below your targets, and take the necessary actions to fix the situation. Last but not least, forecasting your profits. Well, the sales forecast, first of all, gives you the revenue figure, and then it gives you the gross profit figure. The difference between those two, the revenue figure is the total income, the total money received from your sales, and the gross profit is what's left after you've removed your cost of sales or your cost of goods sold, which we've talked about before. You may also be able to predict or estimate your net profit figure. And from that, you can create your very own P&L. Now, traditionally, your profit and loss statement is based on historical data. It's always looking at the year that's already gone. That's how you're going to pay your taxes on or get your rebates on, the data that's from what's already happened, but you as a business owner need to be looking forward. You need to be looking to the future. So having a historical profit and loss is absolutely no use to you. You can use a sales forecast. You've got your revenue figures, you've got your gross profit figures in there, and that forms the first half of your P&L. And if you're doing a forecast for 5 years, you've got 5 years worth of P&L already prepared for you. When we go into the next section and we look at the expense forecast, profit margins, etc., then we're going to get the bottom half of our P&L, and you'll be able to have a 5-year forecast, a look ahead at your estimated profit, and you can start to plan, how am I going to reinvest those profits, how am I going to capitalize, maximize them, and how do I mitigate any losses. So the next time I'm going to show you how to use a sales forecast, how to create your very own, and there'll be a free download available for you if you just want to borrow mine. That is absolutely fine. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please leave me a comment, subscribe, like, or follow the page, and I hope to see you soon.